Hey friends, I have a question of moral imperative that I'd like to pose. But before I do, let's take a minute to put it into kind of a personal perspective. Imagine, if you will, a young woman. She could be pretty, but more important than what she looks like, it's how you feel about her. This needs to be somebody you care about. It could be your daughter, it could be your sister, niece, cousin, gentleman. It could be your girlfriend, your fiancée, your wife. Maybe she's 18 years old, maybe she's 21 years old, maybe she's 25 years old, who knows, maybe she's 30. Maybe it's her senior year of high school, the last month of her senior year. She's passed her SATs, she's been accepted to a university, she's bright and she's motivated, and she's got plans. In 4 months, she's going to be on a college campus. Or maybe she's already on a college campus. Maybe she's in her senior year of college. She's about to graduate. And she's going to go on to grad school, med school. Maybe she's just going to jump right into the workforce. Or maybe she's already in the workforce. It's her first year on a new job. Maybe she's a school teacher, a journalist, an engineer. She could be all kinds of things. Or maybe she's not even that motivated. Maybe she finished high school and she went to work as a cashier or a waitress or a production line worker, but she has something going in her life. She's met a man that she's in love with. He's proposed, and in 6 months they're going to be married. Or maybe she's already married. Maybe this is your young wife, so you can empathize. This is a woman you care about. Unless this woman lives like a Muslim, totally secluded, she has a daily routine, and she's visible to the world, and she's vulnerable at some time during the day to a rapist. Maybe she stops for coffee on her way to work. Maybe she steps outside to check the mail. Maybe she's home alone at a specific time every day. Maybe she's at her workplace alone at a specific time every day. Maybe she shops for groceries, even in the middle of the day, even in a good neighborhood. A rapist can tear your happy world apart. People who haven't experienced this can be a bit naive. They don't realize how brazen a serial rapist can be. They imagine that the prospect of being caught would deter most people from attacking, but sometimes it doesn't. I could go on about this, but there's really no need. All you have to do is check your daily newspaper, and you'll know. Rapes happen. Women get raped frequently. And here's another sad fact to go with that. Women can and do get pregnant from being raped, although there are some people who deny that. Justice James Leon Holmes, for example, George W. Bush appointee to the U.S. District Court in eastern Arkansas. He said, and I'll quote him here, "Concern for rape victims is a red herring because conceptions from rape occur with the same frequency as snowfall in Miami." Actually, he's a little off. It happens 32,000 times a year in the United States. I guess they just don't teach much biology in law school. But I digress. We were talking about that young lady that you care about. This high school senior who in another 4 months will be going off to college and waddling across campus with her rapist child growing in her womb. Or this college senior who will perhaps have to miss her finals to take some time off to deliver her rapist baby. Or that school teacher in her first year on the job. She can tell her kids, "Why no kids, I don't have a husband, I was raped at gunpoint. That's how I got pregnant, even though Justice Holmes told me it wouldn't happen. And hey kids, no matter what they tell you in sex ed, sometimes you really can't say no." Or maybe, gentlemen, this is your fiancé. And on that big day when you had planned to exchange vows in front of God and family, there she'll be 6 months pregnant with her rapist child. Congratulations, Dad! Is it really moral to force this young lady to carry and bear her rapist's child? In addition to the terror and the indignity of the rape, she must also endure the prolonged discomfort of pregnancy and the pain of childbirth. Is that good and just? Do we as a society really have the right to force that on someone? A lot of pro-lifers seem to think so. They're bound to that line of thought by their dogmatic straitjacket. This, after all, is about the life of an innocent child, not about the crimes of its father. Furthermore, they can't draw a distinction between different levels of development. Zygote, embryo, blastocyst, fetus, it's all the same thing. It's a child. Actually, I can understand their reasoning to a certain degree. Any line you draw in that continuum of development is somewhat arbitrary, and the changes between the varying stages are gradual, so you can't really pinpoint exactly when the changes occur. It's easier just to avoid all that murkiness and say life begins at conception. Then you just can't deviate. You can't say that in some situations, like rape, it's okay to use the morning after pill, because then you're admitting that the salient issue isn't really life, it's the chastity of the mother. If she did not consent to the sex act, then she deserves a choice. And if you make an exception for rape, how about for the woman whose birth control fails? Which happens. Well, there again, you're back to the chastity of the mother. And the religious people have been pushing chastity for a long time, but they've come to realize that it's a losing battle. You can preach and moralize all you want, but you can't undermine the human drive to screw, not even in the churches. Well, especially not in the churches. So instead, they'll stay to the issue of life. It's the bulwark of their moral high ground. And it's the cudgel they can use to punish wayward women with pregnancy. It's the rationalization they can use to gun down doctors and bomb clinics and feel sanctified in doing it. Now, my question of moral imperative is this. Remember that young lady that we envisioned, that special person in your life? Is the sperm cell of a rapist really more important than she is?